Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Story day. Well, once upon a time there was a thief named Yankala, and he just stole from everybody. But then he met the holy Baal Shem, and it really started moving him spiritually to such an extent that he no longer stole from everybody, he only stole from rich people. And he wasn't ashamed of being a thief. He admitted it in front of everyone, in front of God, Master of the universe. This is how you made me, so bless me, so I'll be the good thief. So that's how it went. And every time he would steal and the cops would be after him, he'd go to the holy Baal Shem, and the Baal Shem says, "Don't worry, they're not going to get you, it's okay." And the police seemed to forget about it. This went on for a long time or a short time, whatever time it takes in these stories, until one day he heard a nobleman was passing through the town with 50,000 rubles. So everybody knew that this was his life dream, make one big killing and get out of the thieving business if he could. And so he got his henchmen together. They climbed up the ladder on the outside of the room. They stole the guy, and everybody stole from the guy. Everybody knew who it was, and the police were after him. So he immediately went to the Baal Shem to get blessed like he did in the past. But this time when he got into the house, everybody was sitting around crying, solemn, sad. "Well, what's happened?" He says, "The Baal Shem Tov died." He said, "What? He died? Who's going to bless me?" They said, "I don't know, go to Rabbi Joseph Jacob. He's the next one who'll probably be the successor." So he went in there, he burst in, "Please, you got to bless me." He says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, the Baal Shem used to bless me when I stole, and that way the cops wouldn't get me." He says, "First of all, you come into the synagogue with a request like that on the eve when he dies, and then you want me to bless your thieving, your sinning? Get out of here." So he didn't know what to do. He went to the graveyard. He cried his heart out over the grave. "Baal Shem, please, you have to help me. The police are going to get me. My life is over." And you know what happened? His prayers must have pierced heaven, because the Baal Shem appeared to him in a dream. He says, "Listen, go to my grandson, Rabbi Ephraim, and give him this portion of the Torah, word for word. You got to remember it, because he'll know that only I could have said these words, because they're what we studied when I was alive. Just between me and him, he'll know I came back." Well, that's what he did. He remembered it word for word. He went to Rabbi Ephraim. He told him, "I used to steal. The Baal Shem Tov blessed me, and so I want you to bless me." And he said, "I'm not going to bless you for sinning." He says, "Well, that's what the Baal Shem Tov thought. So listen to this portion of the Torah from Gan Eden." And the moment Rabbi Ephraim heard it, he said, "The only one who could have said this was the Baal Shem. So he must have come back from the dead. You're in." So he accepted him. And from that time onward, once he had heard the description of the Torah from Gan Eden, from the angel of the Torah, all desire to steal left him. And he started studying every single day, page by page, until he became a Rebbe himself. And some people say that his own tradition didn't want to acknowledge or forgot that once he was a thief. And he became a rabbi just like Baal Shem Tov for the thieves. Not only just the thieves, but certainly for the thieves, because it's a lower level of holy person who only loves people who do good and who are holy. But it's a real tzaddik, a real righteous person who loves everybody, including the thieves, because they can always see something pure in you, even when you're sinning. So, we gotta love everybody. That's the way. All right, now, I give a smorgasbord of techniques. People should know this. And the reason why is because there's so many people out there working at different levels. Right? I have the people who are doing the journaling, because writing is a way that they can express themselves and get stream of consciousness to allow something to slip out creatively. There are the yoga people who are trying to bridge the gap between the old tradition and how it's expressing itself in the modern times. There's the power of positive people who are trying to get mind control and understand that your thinking has such a big effect on how you view the world and what you accomplish in the world. And then there's basically the personal fight against not wanting to see, turned off to what's going on in the world, so disgusted with the ugliness and the brutality that you don't want to care even. Then you get very self-centered and isolated. We have too many people like that anyway. So note, that's why I'm doing all these kind of smorgasbord techniques. I'm appealing to different ways that people are interested in developing themselves, although I hope you see that there's a common through line in all of this. So first, for you journal people, build your self-esteem by asking yourself these questions. How do you star? How are you beautiful? What have you gained enlightenment about? How are you a guiding star for other people? And what increases your self-esteem? Answer any or all of those questions for yourself. Let me know. I'd love to discuss it with you. How do you star? How are you beautiful? What do you say you're enlightened about? How are you a guiding star for other people? And what increases your self-esteem? Let me know. All right, as a yoga practitioner, I work to correct the distortions that have appeared since the popularization of yoga. Myth yoga, I call it. And of course, it's not done just to keep you fit. It's a spiritual discipline that aims at connecting you to the highest potential that is embryonic in every human being but needs to be cultivated. And so it critiques us and say we're so heavy into the left brain that we're emotionally starved, because intelligence in yoga is in the heart, not in the head. So people talk from their brains, but their heart is empty, sterile. People talk about philosophy, but if they don't convert it into action, it's just empty space, flapping your gums, as Meister Eckhart used to say. So first, you have to understand to get your act together, as we would say. Our civilization, you can't look to them. Don't look to Washington. It's slow and slovenly. So you start doing this, it's called purification, getting your act together. And you have to understand that when you want something, there are forces in the universe that will conspire to help you achieve it. But most people choose what they're accustomed to and not what they really want. But once you understand that the subject of your attention, right, what you're paying attention to, that's what attracts. And most people attract what they don't want. They pay more attention to what they don't want. So once you understand that thought is incipient action, incipient means the beginning or the start of the action, and the reaction is the response from your subconscious mind. It's like the captain of a ship that sends the orders to the engine room, to the boiler room. This is where we're going. The crew in the boiler room, they don't know where they're going. They wait for the orders from the captain. And once they get the order, they use every bit of their motive power to move the ship in that direction. They simply obey orders. They don't mutiny. They just follow orders because the captain's in charge. That's your conscious mind. So once you understand that, no deed is going to be accomplished without enthusiasm, without passion. And my passion is to bring spirituality into daily life. Relationship is the yoga of the West. And if you don't think of carnal action as just something that's materially bound, filled with sin, pejorative connotations about the body, then you realize that you're incarnating the aspect of peace and love in relationships with other people. So the real problem is that most people don't know how to increase their personal power. So they deplete their own power, and then their own wisdom is kind of like in the spiritual dumpster. They don't believe anything can happen. So fight against apathy. Fight against the blunting of your emotions, even though to be sensitive means that we'll be vulnerable, we recognize we're fragile. But if you desensitize yourself to your surroundings and only put a protective shell around you, I understand it's a mechanism for self-defense, but it's such a narrow way of living. Burst out of it and bring forth the best that you have within you. I know you can do it. A week from today, July 11th, and then followed on the 18th and the 25th, the 3 classes in a row at TBY Yoga in Libertyville. Go to tbyyoga.com and sign up, or go to my website, Gabriel Halpern, and follow the links to get there. It's 3 classes on the Yoga Sutras, on Tapas Swadhyaya and Esvara Pranidan. So it'll be classes on how to act, how to study, and how to devote yourself. Hope I see you there. Have a great day.